Welcome back to TW Garage. Today will just be an update video on the dirty coupe. I've done a few things to it here lately, and we're just going to go over a few things. One of the first things you'll notice is the headlights. I went ahead and switched them over to LED headlights, and I'm not positive whether or not I like them just yet. I mean, don't get me wrong, they look bright. I really haven't had it out at night, but I mean, they grab your attention, but I'm not sure if they'll actually shine up the road. And I bought these off of eBay originally. I bought the cheapest set I could find, and it turned around and it bit me in the butt. What ended up happening was two of them worked just fine, and the other two, like half of the LEDs, stopped working in them like within the first 2 minutes of me installing them. So I got a hold of the seller, and we worked out a little deal. He gave me, I think I ended up paying like 32 bucks for them originally, and he ended up giving me like 25 of that back. So I only have a few dollars in these, and I was able to actually take them apart and resolder some of the loose connections in them, and now they're working again. So yeah, a little bit of a pain in the butt, but they're in there. And I still have the old ones. I still have the old ones right here. I could throw those back in. I got them, the other ones. My garage is a mess. But when I pulled these out, I thought this was a new one for me. Now some of my friends said they've seen these before, but Savannah halogens, right? Well, one thing's different about these is they're plastic. So the height beam on this car had plastic headlights. These things weigh literally nothing. So I'm not sure if they did that to save weight or what. Now, they are a little dull looking, like they need polished up and stuff to get them to be really clear. At least to get them as clear as the glass ones anyway, but I don't know. I might end up throwing that back in there. Who knows? But for now, this is what I did. Another update that I did, I've been taking this thing on little cruises, take it to cruise-ins, take it to a few car shows, and I've been working on this carburetor here a little bit. One thing I've been having an issue with is when you stab the throttle, it would black smoke would come out the pipes, and then it would choke out and then come back alive. And one thing I found was the accelerator pump cams had a really aggressive green pump cams on them, and that seemed to be a little bit too much for this little setup here. So I went ahead and switched them over to the pink pump cams, and that took care of most of the problem, but it didn't solve all the issue. So another thing I ended up doing was going from 31 squirters down to 28s on the accelerator pump squirters there, and that seemed to fix most of that issue. I'm going to drive it around a little bit before I decide to make any more changes to it, because I could always rotate the pump cam here a little bit to either increase or decrease that shot just a little bit, and we'll see how she does now. But right now she definitely sounds a little better and revs a little crisper, a little cleaner. But yeah, I changed both pump cams. They had both of these had the green pump cams in there, which has a really aggressive, I guess you'd call it a lobe on the front. I mean, as soon as you hit it, it just threw all the accelerator pump at it, and this little stock small block didn't seem to like it too much. So now if I had a big stall converter and an automatic, that'd probably be about perfect. But for a manual, stock motor, yeah, I was just a little bit too aggressive, so I ended up changing those out, and it definitely made a big improvement. Another thing I ended up doing was I went ahead and added 2 more degrees to the distributor. The distributor on this is locked out. It was set on 30 degrees originally. Ran pretty good, but cruising around, you couldn't lug it. You couldn't, it just, I don't know, it just felt like it was underpowered. Which, you know, without the turbos, this thing really is, but I went ahead and bumped it up to 32 degrees. Again, locked out. It's got the MSD boost timing master that ends up pulling timing out as boost comes in. So I went ahead and just added a few more degrees on that dial because I added a few here. So what I'm saying is it will end up at the same spot as it was originally, around 18 degrees right now. Another update I did is I end up adding in a boost gauge. This car didn't have one when I got it. Just went ahead and tapped into this vibrant vacuum block here and ran my hose. Another thing I did is I actually got my windshield wiper motor hooked up, and of course I wired it like a hillbilly. It's only got low and it doesn't self-park, so just on a toggle switch. You have to kind of time the toggle switch just right to get those windshield wipers to stay down. And all I had to hook up was one wire, right there, the white one. White one was low speed, and I just got it hooked in through here to the toggle switch, and now I got windshield wipers because street car, right? Okay, there's that boost gauge. Added in. A good friend of mine actually gave me that gauge. Seems to work the way it was intended. Now this thing here is actually a 3D printed gauge pod that fits right in the original location. I think the company's called In Your Vents. If anyone wants to do something similar, because it definitely looks nice and makes it look nice and clean. Anyway, give you guys a close-up, and it comes with a bracket that goes on the back to where you can actually mount your gauges. Just make sure you order for the right size. I got one in my other Mustang too. I definitely like them. That's definitely something to look into. Another update I end up doing is, if you guys look in the past videos, there used to be a humongous, like a green trailer light right here. I'm sure I explained it in the other video, in a previous video anyway, that this green light is to let me know that I got fuel pressure. Okay. Now I did have an issue where I was messing around with the fuel pressure regulator, and the light kept flickering on and off, and I was like, what's going on? Well, I had like less than 3 pounds of fuel pressure out there, so it was kind of warning me. So I made sure that I kept it, but I updated it. Instead of that big bulky, I think it was for a trailer or something, but at night it would blind you. It was so bright you couldn't see anything but that green light in your face. So I had to do something. I ended up doing this. It's LED, definitely a little better, looks a little cleaner, but this lets me know I have fuel pressure. So I'll demonstrate that real quick. I'll just start to. So that door green light's on, lets me know I got fuel pressure. So you guys heard it. That's cold start. It's like 70. I don't know, 76 degrees here today. As far as right up. Now she's riding a little slower until she gets warm, but yeah. So that's what that does. Oh no, I almost forgot about my windshield wipers. Right down here, the little toggle switch for the wipers. Like I said, if you time it just right, you can get them down. But if you don't, they'll just stay up. So you kind of have to time it. Yeah, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it works. again, I'm not going for luxury here. This is just a little project car. There we go. Just a little project car to have fun with. And so far, I mean, this thing's actually really fun to drive. I miss driving a 5-speed. Oh, and I did get my my console finally somewhat mounted to the floor, so it's not flopping all over the place, and keeps that breeze from flopping, you know, coming up through the trans tunnel there. But yeah, just coming along. So that's the update on the dirty coupe. Here soon, hopefully. I know my buddy's dying for me to bring this thing over and get it up on the dyno, but you know, I'd like to get some of the other bugs worked out of it before I bring it over. Now the boost gauge has been showing me, like in first and second gear, it only goes up maybe 5 pounds of boost. Now third and fourth will actually creep up to 7 eventually, but I'd like to change that to at least 10. I do have the springs. Just the way the wastegates are on this, he's got hard lines on it, and I do have a little cheap manual boost controller, but I'd have to take off the hard lines on this thing and run all new lines for that if I wanted to go that route. So I might just throw some springs in them gates and see if I can get them up to 10 pounds, or let's aim between 10 and 12. I don't think this thing will take anything more than that before it lets the ghost out. But hopefully here soon, you know, we'll get a dyno video of this thing. And I still got some work I need to do to this other one. Nothing mind-blowing. I just need to service the transmission filter back here, and I'd like to get that fuel shutoff valve installed and put on there, and then put the gas back in, because I actually did drain the gas out of this thing a while ago. Just I haven't been feeling good here lately, and it's been too dang hot to come down here and work in the garage. But yeah, that'll probably be a separate video. And then I got a couple products I'd like to go over.